All right, guys, not going to sugarcoat it. This semi final is the final of this year's Champions League, okay? The other side of the draw looks pretty weak, and we've got to get past Western Suburbs, and they can be tricky, okay? Two legged, so we should be okay. Just get the job done, guys, and then another Champions League, lots of Club World Cups coming up. We'll be good, okay? Massive game, get the job done.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 120 of the New Zealand Builder Nation here on Shaun does FM with both the All Whites and with Cashmere Technical. I hope you're doing well, and come up today, probably the biggest game in the save for this entire year here in 2036. We take on Western Suburbs over two legs in the Champions League semi-finals. Considering with the All Whites this year, we've got a lot of OFC Nations Cup stuff coming up, so if you're looking forward to the semi-final coming up in today's episode of New Zealand Derby, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. But yesterday we took on Switzerland with the All Whites and then made our way through the quarterfinals of the Champions League. We did take on Raul Kakamora, so if you missed that one, I'll leave a link to it over in the top right corner. In the end, we went through 6-0 on aggregate, and Western Suburbs, they took on Waniagu and got past those guys. I think the scoreline in the end was 6-2. Indeed, that was the case off the back of us beating them 2-0 in the Charity Cup just before that. So we might have a bit of a psychological edge over these guys off the back of that, and also just in terms of recent form over these guys, they have not beaten us in a long time. Let's have a look at the data hub, because we've played no games off the back of yesterday's episode, that second leg, and you can see once we make our way down to when I joined the club there in 2028, there was one Chatham Cup quarterfinal where they beat us on penalties, a couple of draws here and there, but recently it's been all one-way traffic, lots of green dots for us here at Cashmere. To be fair, we've actually played them at home quite a bit in the last little while. It's going to be our first trip up to Porirua for a couple of years for the second leg, but first up, we're at my arena for the first league. Western Suburbs, we know all about these guys. They were clearly the second best team in New Zealand last season, making both the Chatham Cup final as well as the final of the New Zealand National League, but definitely we should be the favourites for this one, and hopefully can pick up a decent result in this first league in front of our home fans. Just one injury related to the first team still. Unfortunately, our first choice left back, Asana Diop, is out with a pulled calf muscle, but hopefully he'll be fit enough for the second leg. That could be a big boost, especially because Jack Honey is quite tired, as are a couple of our other players. You'll see there some interesting ones. We'll get a start in this first league. Hopefully they can still get the job done, and then we can go full strength for that second leg, depending on if some of these guys on yellow cards do pick up another one and get themselves suspended, in particular Harrison Debenham, Louis Evans, and Giorgio Ciardiello, but pretty close to full strength for this first league, and hopefully we can pick up a win in front of our home fans and take an advantage up to Porirua in this Champions League semi. And here are the team sheets for this first leg of the Champions League semi-finals. You saw a glimpse of our team before. Honey comes in for Diop. In terms of tired boys though, Kanade comes in, that is for Anderson. Also, we did have the Turner over Sam Clark in the deep lying playmaker. We've got, instead of Khaled, Torek. Now that's a bold call, our player of the season from last year. And also Janssen, still coming back from injury. It's a stupid face. Max Caputo is in central attacking midfield. Hopefully can still pick up a good result. And just past the 5-minute mark, we get the first highlight of this game. It is a free kick here in our favour. Ciardiello takes this with his right foot. It's a short free kick there. Looking for Torek. Now it's a short free kick. Those usually do come off, but unfortunately that time not quite on target, but early stages might be on the front foot. Still 0-0 though. And going forward about 10 minutes off that opening highlight, now it's a free kick here to Western Suburbs. We put some good early pressure on them there down our right-hand side. I think that might have been through Torek. Now hopefully he has a good game coming in for last season's Player of the Year in Cali. Unfortunately, can't quite win the ball there in midfield off of Duval. He found Villarreal before getting it back, but now Western Suburbs, we press them back into their own half, but eventually make their way out to the left-hand side. Tiffany, who picked up a red card in that Charity Cup game early this season, they picked up 2 in that one, so that was definitely a factor in our 2-0 win. But thankfully, as they try and make their way into the box there, good tackle. I think there was from Evans, starts to get us here on the counter-attack. That ball goes through to Ciardiello, squeeze that one nicely for Tariq Nah. Missed a decent chance before from a short free kick routine. This time he puts it away. There are a few bodies there in the box, and thankfully he was left alone, could put that one away in the bottom right corner and take a 1-0 lead here, just shy of the 20-minute mark. They were all marking their zoomers inside the box, and they were pretty much sticking to him. Ciardiello, good pick out there to his partner on the right wing, and he makes it 1-0. And only a few minutes off the back of that opening goal, we are now down the other end here, but thankfully we do get a chance here to try and make our way out from that. Turner plays that one forward to Ciardiello, but unfortunately just a foot in there from Western Suburbs player, and they do win the race to that ball. Villarreal, with his one all-white cap, starts to make his way forward. Somehow that one goes through Canate and lots of our defenders, and down he puts it away, and Western Suburbs not behind for long here at my arena. They make it 1-1. That is very frustrating because I'm pretty sure that's the first attack that's led to something from them in this game, and we really should have had the bodies there to deal with it. It looked like there somehow that's gone through Canate and also one of our other defenders and through Cifuentes' simple tap-in. And with their first shot of the game, they make it 1-1, albeit off the back of that. We are down the other end here for a corner, hopefully a swift reply. Some good short passing eventually, though. Luluwai can clear it, but thankfully we put it back into the mixer, and Debenham just inside the box plays that one back there to Turner and goes back to Honey at left back, definitely in need of a rest here. So hopefully Diop comes back for the second leg, but now we find Debenham down that right-hand side, finds himself in a little bit of space there, and Cogman, another player who got a red card in the Charity Cup game earlier this year, brings him down. That is a stone-cold penalty, and Ezra Zoomers has been pretty good with his penalties so far here at Kashmir Tech. Why do I speak? That is pathetic. Chips it straight down the middle, and we blow a chance to go in front. Still 1-1, albeit off the back of that. There is now a front in our favour. Hopefully now we can actually score a goal from open play, because that penalty from Zoomers was absolutely toilet. But Zoomers plays that one through there to Ciardiello and kind of makes up for that penalty. He gets an assist, and the Italian will put it away like Ezra couldn't. He gets a goal, go alongside his assist for that first one. We got through Tariq Nah, and thankfully not level for too long here at my arena. We make it 2-1. Really could have been 3-1, but thankfully don't have to wait too long off the back of that missed penalty. Zoomers makes up for it by setting up Ciardiello, and we're back in front 2-1 just past the half-hour mark. And almost into the last 5 minutes of this first half, and there is now a throw-in here to Western Suburbs just inside of our half. But at the moment, just taking their time to actually make their way into it. Tiffany on a yellow card plays that one forward to Thomas down the left-hand side, goes back there to the man on a yellow card. As I said earlier, there's been a bit of a suspension issue for him so far this season. Picks out the Villarreal, who for some reason we give a lot of space to. Thankfully that header goes well over the bar. Let's see if that's the last highlight here of the first half. Interestingly, both those red-carded players from the Charity Cup sit on yellow cards at half-time. Maybe the same thing will happen here in the first leg of the semi, and that would be quite big as well going into the second leg. But 2-1 up, definitely been the better team, but a bit frustrating that we both missed the penalty and conceded with the only shot on target. Really could have dealt with that through Canada, and he is on a 6.5. Might bring on the former Western Suburbs man here, and Anderson is a bit tired, but hopefully he can help us out in the second half, keep a clean sheet, and hopefully we can score some goals, grab a cushion going in to the second leg, as we currently only 2-1 in front. And in fact, it doesn't take long here at all in the second half of the first highlight. Anderson, the former Western Suburbs man, is on the ball before playing that one back across there to the all-white and Billingsley. A nice ball out there to Debenham in a bit of space down our right-hand side. Tries to pick out Zoomers. It's a mess there from their goalkeeper. Tariq Nah had the net at his mercy, but unfortunately that shot actually did take a deflection. Must have been a Western Suburbs player in there that I didn't see, but really big chance for us there to grab a cushion goal early in the second half. Can't quite take it. Still 2-1. Off the back of that, there's a throw for us here inside the final third. Hopefully can put this one to bed, this first leg. Anyway, unfortunately, can't quite do it from that highlight. Western Suburbs do clear their lines. We go back there to Evans. He picks out Tariq Nah down that right-hand side in there for Caputo. Bit of a tug. No foul, and the ball goes through there to Chronopoulos, and it might end up being a chance here for the opposition to equalise yet again. They pump it deep there. Not a good header from Anderson, and Thomas does get on the ball, and Tariq Nah with a shocking tackle, and this time we are the team who will suffer from discipline issues now. I think because of that, we'll bring on our star player Khalid for Max Caputo and just play with our central attacking midfielder for these last 40 minutes. But this is not ideal, down to 10 men and only a goal in front. And going forward a few minutes off the back of that red card, now Louis Evans picks up a yellow. That does mean that we're missing from the second leg, but don't want to risk things down to 10 men. Marcus Vinicius these days, the Kiwi, can come off the bench. That's 3 of our subs used, just 1 more stoppage, but thankfully still a goal in front. And just made way into the last 20 minutes of this game. Thankfully no highlights off the back of that red card, so holding on to our 1 goal lead, but Debenham here goes down to a red heart, so Wilson can come on for him. We've got 1 more sub we can use with this final stoppage. I think we might take off Zoomers. That penalty miss earlier, not great. And to be fair, we're getting chances in this game. He's not taking them. Castro can come on. Let's see if he can carry his form over from some domestic games that we've been playing with him recently into this big game in the Champions League semis. But thankfully, still 2-1 in front. We're about to make our way into the last 10 minutes of this game. Thankfully, Western Suburbs have been doing nothing, albeit again, might have spoken too soon because there's a throw-in for them here, but it is on the halfway line. So they were there still inside their own half. Villarreal with a pass, rather unluckily, takes a deflection, falls back to a fellow Suburbs player. Now Anderson will deal with that, but really poorly. Out there to Mackay, puts that into the mix. Cifuentes parries it back out to Harrison Tish. And these players today just not on their game. Tim Anderson, the former Suburbs man, might be a secret agent man, because that was pretty poor. We're going to go wider, but be more disciplined. Usually I'd be more expressive, try and grab a winner. We will distribute to fullbacks, but being down to 10 men, just want to see if being more disciplined might just make sure that at least we should hold on here for a draw. But that's a really poor clearance from Anderson across the face of goal to the wing back. We get a block or a save in there, but Tish, right place, right time. That poor Anderson clearance did leave us there in a bit of trouble of only 2 shots on target. Have scored both of them. Somehow we are not winning this game. I say somehow. Obviously that now red card didn't help, as well as the Zoomers penalty. It's a 2-2 draw with a red card. Not too bad, but based on the stats, that was a game that we should have been winning. Frustrating goals we conceded. Downey's goal felt like Canade could have gone the way of that one. In the second half, Tim Anderson, poor clearance. Should we just release him on the spot for that error? Probably a little bit harsh, but not happy with that. We blow a lead there twice at my arena in a big Champions League semi. And now lots riding on that second leg up in Porirua. All square going into the second leg away from home. And here are the team sheets for the second leg of this Champions League semi. First up, Western Suburbs, and they are sticking with the 4-3-3. Looks like they haven't actually played a game since that draw in the first league. We have beaten Nelson Suburbs in the Southern League, but back to pretty close to full strength, apart from the fact that Corona comes in for the suspended Louis Evans. But hopefully, the slightly stronger team can get the job done here away from home. Otherwise, going to be losing our first Champions League in quite a few years. And just making way into the last 5 minutes here of this first half. So far, Western Suburbs are kind of on the front foot. 3 shots to 1, make that 4. Our shot was on target, but no highlights in that first half. Still 2-2, so plenty to play for here in the last 45 minutes before this one might go to extra time. Thankfully, don't think away goals are a thing. Otherwise, we might be in trouble. But Zoomers going a bit fairly out there on a 6.5. So we'll bring Castro on yet again. A little bit peeved with him for that miss from the spot in that first leg. But otherwise, some big guns out there who could improve, including Khalid, done next to nothing so far in this game, alongside both Janssen and Ciardiello up front. So hopefully our attackers can get into gear. Definitely not the best first half in that one. Hopefully get some highlights here in the second. Still 2-2 on aggregate. And just coming up to the hour mark, and unfortunately nothing happening still in this game, and both our wingers are down to 6.4, so this is a bit of a bold call, but I think we'll take them off. Chris Greenidge back to being a left winger. Now Janssen's back. He can come on at left wing. Now no Tariq Nah, because that red card from the first league, so I think our only right wing option is the Hotman de Villiers. May as well try him because Khalid not doing too well in this one. And also might be time for us to go a bit wider and distribute the fullbacks as well as centre backs. Let's just see if that kicks us into gear and we get some highlights. Still 2-2 for half hour left. And thankfully we finally get the first highlight of this game at the 65-minute mark. That's taken a blimmin' long time, but it's a free kick here in our favour, albeit we were there inside of our own half. Try and get that ball out right there. 2-1 of the new men off the bench into Hotman de Villiers. Just takes his time there. Poor touch. And Downey plays that to Rutherford. A good chance here for Western to do something somewhat on the counter-attack. But thankfully, Thomas, poor pass there, goes to Billingsley. And now Castro with a chance to get us going on the counter-attack. Janssen will pick out Greenidge down that left-hand side. This is that one of the mixer. Wynn makes a meal of it. And Matthew de Hotman de Villiers is there to put it away. Both our subs have linked up there. And we are back in front in the second leg. It's taken a long time, but the first highlight does result in a goal. Greenidge. This ball didn't look too threatening, but Wynn just doesn't deal with it. And thankfully, de Hotman de Villiers can just poke that one home, dead centre, into the back of the net and make it 1-0 on the day, 3-2 on aggregate. And just about to make our way into the last 15 minutes of this game, and we've now got Hassan Diop down to a red heart coming back from injury. Probably a safe idea to bring on Jack Honey, even though he's still on a pretty heavy workload, having played at left back in all our recent games here at Kashmir. Taking right off the back of that, there is a highlight, a free kick. We take it short, but again, having to make our way here out from back. Janssen, good quick pass forward there to Castro. Starts to weave his way forward before playing that one out to Greenidge, who pings it out there to de Hotman de Villiers. Back to Debenham, to de Hotman de Villiers, who squares it for Chris Greenidge. Those two will link up yet again, and surely that's the cushion goal that should put this one to bed with only 15 minutes left. So thankfully, getting the job done here, but it has taken a couple of subs and taking off probably our two best players here at Kashmir Tech with a half hour to go. Thankfully, the blokes have brought on a goal and assist with each other. De Hotman de Villiers there setting up Greenidge to make it 2-0 with only 10 minutes left. And in fact, right off the back of that second goal that we did score, now it's time to make our last sub. Colour players out there have dropped down to red hearts. I think the safe option might be to take off Debenham, freshen up our defence. Isaac Hughes can come on, bit of an extra tall body there. Let's make our way through the latter stages of this game. Western Suburbs actually more shots than us, but none on target. We've been perfect so far. All of ours have been, albeit now I've said that, maybe a chance here for Western Suburbs to grab one back late and make things interesting with still about 4 more minutes of added time scheduled. Cogman on the ball. Nice ball forward there for their striker, but thankfully easy save that for Sifuentes. So eventually looked like they got a shot on target. Apparently, according to FM, it wasn't. But we go through the Champions League final and play someone from the weak side of the draw. We made it tough with that red card in the first leg to Nah. Also that penalty miss from Ezra Zuma's that second leg. Not up to much, but thankfully, a couple of subs that we made with a half hour to go to Hotman de Villiers and Greenidge came on. Our backup wingers and beefy to Hotman de Villiers is third choice on both wings, and in terms of domestically, fourth choice, because we did sign someone going in to yesterday's episode, but a decent win there, 2-0 away from home in Porirua, and we knock out Western Suburbs in the semis and go through to another Champions League final. So we just do enough there to make our way through to another Champions League final. But to be fair to Western Suburbs, they made that a bit closer than most teams have against us over the past few seasons in the Champions League. But thankfully, despite what happened in that first league, we pick up a 2-0 win there at Endeavour Park. And in terms of what happened on the other side of the draw in the Champions League, Hikari United actually got defeated in the second league 2-1 there by Iroquois, but they picked up a pretty big win in the first league. That must have been by a scoreline of 5-3. So in tomorrow's episode, we'll take on Hikari United from Papua New Guinea in the Champions League final. These guys are the best team in Papua New Guinea so far, undefeated domestically. 1.5-star reputation club, so to be fair, it's a bit higher than most teams we usually take on from the islands in the save, just a half-star below us. We're interested to see how they get on in that final, which is at their home ground, the Sir Hubert Murray Stadium. We could potentially do a bus trip before that game, because I don't think we've done a bus trip to that venue in Port Moresby just yet. But that's what we've got coming up in tomorrow's episode, off back and making our way through to another Champions League final. Hopefully can pick it up yet again over in Papua New Guinea. And also, quick update on the Southern League now. That's just got underway. As I said, we did beat Nelson Suburbs in between those two legs of the Champions League semi-final. That was 3-0 with pretty much a fully rotated team. And here is what the various national leagues do look like, but still a pretty early stages. Quite interestingly, in the Central League, Havelock North look like they could be quite a decent team this season. 3 wins from 3 so far. And there's a Southern League. We're on top joint with Christchurch United, but with a far superior goal differential. But that will do it for today's episode. Just do enough there to get past Western Suburbs, and tomorrow we are off to Papua New Guinea to play Hikari in the final. If you enjoyed today's episode, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. Until tomorrow, we'll do a bus trip and also play the Champions League final. Thank you very much for watching, keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.